Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. SeKo Starcraft here, bringing you Game 2 between Bomber TLO from a recent IEM tournament. Now, Game 1, link in the annotation down below to go check that out if you have not. Fairly fast game. Really enjoying kind of the new meta. I'm going to speed it up slightly. It's a bit of a longer game. The new option for Zerg players to go for these 3-base bailing timings. They're working super well against a lot of Terrans that have been just bunkering up on 2 bases, trying to get out big bio armies, going for the 3rd CCs or the double engineering bay upgrades. You see even the best Terrans, like Innovation, getting rolled by these 3-hatch Zergling bailing busts, which are essentially just, you get that 3rd hatch down, and you just use it just for the larvae. You don't even saturate it. And make tons of Zerglings and Banelings and just go, roll face. Bomber got caught a little bit off guard by that. Had a really cool marine push kind of concept, but he kind of just ran into the wrong build to do that with, and he got scouted out pretty good. So credit to TLO for really keeping good attention to what was happening on the map. This game does have a CC first from our Terran player. Zerg player got the hatch first before the pool. Sometimes you'll see that Zerg players a little bit worried about some crazy play and won't get the pool first. But against a Terran on a map like this, you should be able to open up with a pool after hatch. Still get your queens and a couple of Zerglings out in time to deal with Reapers. We didn't have any Reapers in the first game from our buddy Bomber. Instead trying to go for a 3 racks, essentially a combat shield timing with a whole bunch of Marines. It got some creep kills, but really wasn't doing what it was supposed to, which was canceling that 3rd hatch. Kind of the beauty of TLO going for that more Zergling Baneling focus is that he didn't lose or get significantly blocked as if he was playing a standard macro game. Zerglings beelining it across the map. Pretty sure the Overlord saw that one SCV moving across, and I hypothesized this is where things are going to be. There are 2 Marines out, so he won't be able to actually get the kill on that. Pretty crazy spot actually for the command center to go down. It's very obvious that that's what's happening, so we should be seeing another hatch go down pretty soon, I'm assuming. I'd like to assume. SCV gets crushed. Gas is going down. 2 gases actually, so maybe we'll see the same thing again. Worked well the first time, and this time it's even more mineral crazy. We didn't have any Widow Mines or any tanks in position last game. Kind of resulted in the roll. She might have been able to snipe that SCV, but 2 Marines probably would shut that down. Creep getting moved. Still no 3rd hatch, so I've got to assume it's either a Roach timing or it's going to be, well, we have Zergling speed, so Zergling Baneling seems like it'll be the same thing again. There it is. The Terran will not have seen this, but he'll have tons of CCs. So we'll see if he throws down a scan. He's getting down a much earlier starport this time, so it might be for a Banshee. Banshees are good on a map like this. They can patrol around, do a little bit of damage to units trying to guard the watchtowers. A couple of Hellions coming out here. The Hellions will definitely help out against a lot of Zergling numbers until the Zerglings get really crazy. Speed is a little ways off. TLO sees that there are Hellions on the map, so he might disguise this a bit more. There's the 3rd hatch going down. You generally want this to help sell your build a little bit. This is also about catching people off guard. Cloak is on the way. We have 4 Hellions, 2 more getting started as well. He does see this other hatch down, but he sees the timing of it, and I don't know if that's throwing him off. These Zerglings could wrap around and try and take on the Hellions. But what he might want to do is come over here, morph the Banelings, and then go for another bust here. There we... ooh. Lots of Banelings. Now, these Hellions will probably be able to get this queen kill. Maybe not. Maybe so. Absolutely so. Well, the more exciting stuff's happening over here. It actually gets 2 Hellions. Oh, clutch building. See if these Banelings, what kind of hits we can get here. Oh, those banelings did not detonate the best. You'll actually pick up a reactor. That one baneling was kind of a waste there. The Hellions do come back home and clean up a lot. Now this is kind of interesting. I mean, all it's really doing is delaying these Hellions longer. More random banelings. TLO should be giving up on the strategy. I think he did a lot of his damage. Still making Zerglings though, that might be to defend. But I think what he has to do is go back home and kind of just take what advantage he got out of that. Actually, Terran's still ahead in workers. I think TLO overcommitted a little bit too much into his Zerglings there. And now he's got 2 Cloaked Banshees to deal with. Now it's nothing over here for the Banshee to kill. It could technically start working on the hatch, but I don't think it wants to do that. Spore will get focused down. There's another Spore over here. A little bit of damage in there. Lair is only about halfway done. More Zerglings chilling out. Doesn't have a lot of minerals to make more banelings. I think he wants to go for a baneling bust once again. Maybe hit some SCVs. These guys are not doing well. That might be able to get focused down before it really... Oh, nice transfuse. Three Banshees now overhead. We'll be able to focus down this hatch. Oh, he had transfuse energy as well. I don't know if he wanted to waste it or not. The Hellions do come back in. He lost all of his Banshees and most of his Hellions here. Let's look at the units lost. Pretty far ahead for TLO. Once again, I think his overmaking of the banelings may or may not have been what he needed. He's killed 27 workers this game, and he's only ahead by 3 workers. If that says anything to the power of Bomber's macro here. 3 hatches, producing tons and tons of workers, lots of production buildings. He's getting up into that full Bomber macro stride. And I don't blame TLO for trying to do that specific build with trying to baneling bust again. I think it was the right build. He caught the person off guard. I think he just made 1 or 2 injects too many of Zerglings. And if he didn't, he probably would have been able to pull off a bigger lead. Some Widow Mines chilling out. Nothing real. Well, there's Marines here now. They could pick this off technically. Actually, might be able to get out of there with that guy. That's pretty funny. Spire is about to finish up. There's a pretty good bank of gas here. It's not a lot, though. He's only going to be able to get a handful of mutas. He doesn't even have that much mineral income. He spent so much on more Zerglings. Oh, no, not again, TLO. Banelings do get down. They target the wrong thing. Oh. Don't use the banelings on the Widow Mines. Wouldn't mind seeing Burrow. Some baneling landmines might be an effective thing to do. Still Poop and Creep over here, just delaying for as long as he can. Stimpack Marines will do good against these. Well, Centrifugal Hooks is about to finish, so never mind. Overlord tries to get away, but he's not going to be super successful with that. TLO is so far behind and where he should be, I think, economy-wise. I mean, he did a couple of runs of drones. But he's making all these upgrades, trying to get out a lot of mutas. He's just not going to be able to get out the numbers that he really needs to. So it's still kind of a low econ game, if that makes any sense. Few Zerglings and Banelings around the Watchtower. As I said, this will probably be a really cool time for him to be able to get down some Baneling landmines. Just be able to hit these big Marine-focused armies in these chokes. Pretty good micro-rotor bomber. Doesn't take too much damage from these Zerglings here. They did deny the base once again. If we look at the upgrades, big lead for upgrades. 2-2 is going to be finishing up about the same time 1-1 is for our Zerg player. And it looks as TLO still really wants to be aggressive. I just don't think he's really got the unit count He's got to do damage, otherwise his economy is not really going to be able to back him up. Quite a good chunk of banelings coming through here. Mutas could potentially focus down the command center. Banelings detonate on some marauders down here. He lost almost all of his banelings, really costing effectively. He's not going to be able to get down that command center. And this army here is pretty monstrous. Only a handful of banelings that exist right now for TLO. Down in supply. And I have a feeling this drop is going to just obliterate. Does pull his drones, maybe. Pretty good Widowmine drags. This has been a great time for those mutas, but these are going to be able to land before the mutas can really get back in here and do damage. Now Bomber's trying to do his best with microing, trying to kill off some mutas here. He's out of boost for his medevacs. Oh, just finished up. But he might be able to chase those down. There's another big pile of army heading across the map. But I think this is going to run out just... He only gets one. Marauders tanking very nicely here. Marines, there's just too many for the mutas to tangle with. Marines so cheap, so easy and fast to make. Gonna need a lot more banelings than that. And then economy wise, I mean there's about 60 workers to about 50, so he's not behind. The Terran with the mules can just deal with these situations so well. And there's still just the 3 hatches of production. Almost lost the lair there, I didn't even notice that. And TLO is scraping for minerals right now. Just trying to do what he can. Get a little bit of damage in here and there. The Overlord will at least see that this army is on this side and be in position. Yes, cider. The Overseers fly right over all this stuff, interestingly enough. He's got lots of Overseers out actually. I wonder if he's going to go for some contaminates here. I think so, it must be. That's awesome. I have not seen mass contaminates in a long time. Because it's so cost ineffective to do. Well, it's not cost effective, but it costs so much energy to do that. Once again, the Marauders tank very good against the Banelings. And there's not much in position to defend. Snipes a medevac with that queen. That was ballsy. Now, I don't think there's going to be enough here for TLO to hold on. He's trying to make some Banelings, a few Zerglings. Pretty good splits out of Bomber, though. Marauders tanking those Banelings. And then there's the GG. Series is tied up 1-1. We're moving on to game number 3.